सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। कस्मिन् भगवो विज्ञाते सर्वमिदं विज्ञातं भवति इति। O Venerable Sir, what is it knowing which all this as well becomes known? And the teacher is unfolding how there is a self of the whole universe, knowing which the whole universe would be known. But if I know the self of the whole universe, if it does not include me, then still I do not know everything. Knowing Ishvara as everything is wonderful, but as long as that Ishvara is thought to be different from me, so long the knowledge does not include everything. Therefore, Ishvara is revealed here as that very self. Then the equation becomes complete. All there is Ishvara, and there is myself. All there is the self. Knowing the self, you know everything. What do you mean you know everything? You know everything means as comfortable you are with yourself. You know yourself. You love yourself. Asti, bhati, priyam. And I love myself, there is no ragadveshas, I am completely at home, comfortable with myself. Yeah, that is what the knowledge of self brings about. Same way, when I know everything is the self, I become equally comfortable, accepting, accommodating, loving. There is an unconditional love for myself and all circumstances. And when I know you as myself, there is an unconditional love for everything, for everyone, for everything. And that is where all the duality gets resolved ultimately in the life also. The duality gets resolved. Between two persons, when there is love, then the duality that exists as two individuals gets resolved. This is just another way of expressing how for a wise person the relationship is one of love, and therefore there is no, in that sense, no division. Even though the two are there, two is different and division is different. Division is explained as bheda. Word for duality is a word that we use really, but in Sanskrit the word would be bheda. What is bheda? Anyonya abhava bheda. Anyonya, mutual exclusion, is called bheda. So what we mean by duality with which we are suffering is not just the difference between the two. It is a mutual exclusion, meaning that when I confront you, if I am strongly feeling that I am an individual self, so and so, then in that I, you do not have any place. Meaning that I exclude you. This is what automatically happens. I don't need to do that. So bheda means mutual exclusion. When I see you as divided from me, separate from me, then I do not include you when I feel excluded by you. Non-duality means freedom from this bheda, freedom from this exclusion. I do not exclude anything, nor do I feel excluded by anything. Just imagine this. How would that be? That I don't feel excluded by anybody. I'm at home with everybody, most comfortable with everybody. That is where there is joy or ananda. And therefore, ananda which is there, which is stifled right now. Ananda is my nature, your nature. What is that stifles that ananda? That doesn't allow it to become, to flower, to blossom, to manifest, is the sense of separateness, sense of exclusion. When there is not there, the fullness which is my nature just becomes evident. Less the division is, more the manifestation of my true nature. That's what Upanishad wants. Recognize the true nature of yourself and thank God that knowing yourself is knowing everything, because you are everything. You do not exclude anything, and therefore nothing excludes you. Now continuing, another way the Upanishad presents before us the way of contemplating upon the self, and that we go into the next mantra, which is called the Dvitiya Khanda, the second section of the second Mundaka. Avihi sannihitam guhacharan nama mahatpadam atraitat samarpidam ejat pranata nimisaccha yadetat janatha satasadvaranyam param vijnanat yadvarishtham prajana. Avihi is an indeclinable word. Avihi, avyaya. And some of you who may be familiar with Sanskrit know that the word avi is indeclinable. It is in the sense of the manifestation of light. Avishkaraha, avirbhavaha. Avish is the avyaya, and you can join with that the bhu, kru, avirbhavaha, avishkaraha. So we know what avishkara is, this manifestation. Avirbhava is also manifestation appearing. So avihi is in the sense of that which illumines lights, avihi, of the nature of light, of the nature of consciousness, avihi. Sannihitam is in the great proximity. Sannihita. So, this truth, Brahman of the self, which is avihi, which is of the nature of consciousness, is sannihitam, is close at hand. How close it is? It is your own self. Guhacharam. Guha means a cave. Guhacharam, one who goes from one cave to the other. You know, there are some, like the monkeys. So, Anjaneya Hanumanji says, who am I? I'm just a Shakha Mruga. I'm an animal that goes from one branch to the other. So this Atma goes from one cave to the other. Guhacharan Nama, Darshana, Shravana, Manana, Vijnanadi, Upadi, Dharmehi. So now he is a seer, then he is a hearer, then he is a thinker, or now I am a seer, thinker, hearer, knower, doer, enjoyer. Then, thus when I or the Atma is in the guha, the cave of seeing, he becomes seer. From another cave he goes, becomes hearer. From one cave, so when he goes to cave of the organs of perception, namely the eyes, becomes seer. Goes to another cave, organ of hearing, becomes hearer. A third cave, organ of speech, becomes a speaker. So it's a very beautiful way of expressing how Guhacharan Nama, moving, in the guha, in the heart, or from one cave to the other, assuming different roles. Prananneva prana bhavati vadanvak pashyan chakshuhu, Upanishad says. It keeps on changing identifications. When the self identifies with prana, the act of breathing becomes a living being, becomes a breather. Vadanvak, when he identifies with the organ of speech, becomes a speaker. Pashyan chakshuhu, when he identifies with the organ of seeing, becomes a seer. How he keeps changing his forms, changing the roles, as though from one costume to the other, from one role to the other, from one place to the other, from one cave to the other. Guhacharam Nama. And where is he? Sannihitam, close. It's your very self. It's close in the heart. How close? In fact, not separate from you at all. Meaning that don't look for Atma somewhere else. He's sannihitam. He is in the proximity, very much close to you, very near you, in fact your own self. And still he says that he dwells in the cave of the heart. Mahatpadam. Padam. So padaniyam, that which is to be reached is called pada here. The goal. Mahatpadam, the great goal. So Atma is the great goal that every creature is always seeking to achieve or reach. If you look at our mind, we find that the mind is constantly striving to become something, striving to gain something, striving to know something. Mind is constantly active. It wants to know something, wants to reach somewhere, wants to become something. When not satisfied with what I want to become something else, something bigger, something better. I want to be happier than what I am, bigger than what I am, better than what I am. In that sense, as though constantly active. So, guhacharam nama mahat padam. In fact, itself is the padam, the goal. Don't seek for a goal other than yourself. I am constantly seeking for a padam or a goal, thinking that what I am seeking is different from me, and I am struggling to become something all different from what I am. Being dissatisfied with the way I am right now, or I think I am right now. I want to become better, bigger, different from what I am. This process of becoming is constantly going on because of the dissatisfaction with what I am right now. Says, no, Mahat Padam. Hey, you are the very Padam. You are the very great goal that you are seeking. You have taken for granted that the goal is different from you because you have concluded that you are a limited, insignificant creature. So idea of achieving something comes when I have not achieved it. When I feel that I am inadequate, I am lacking, wanting, then I want to become free from that want, I want to achieve something. So idea of achievement comes when I already assume that I am not there, I am not achieved, I am lacking. Says, no, Mahatma Padam, that you want, which you want to achieve is already you. Mahatpadam, the great goal that every creature is seeking to be. So look at yourself more closely. That I am small, is that the reality about you? I am lacking, wanting, limited, is that a reality about you? Yes, Swamiji, I am limited, I am a human being. That human being, where does it belong? This human being is limited. When you join with I am, the I am also as though becomes limited. But where is that human being? The human being is the attribute of this body. I am wealthy, I am poor, I am famous, I am unknown, I am well known. All of these things which we join with I am, all of them belong to one or the other aspect of Upadhi. We are joining them. And that's why we keep on judging the I all the time as a limited being by joining it with a limited thing. But look at I am as you are, without joining with anything. Mahatpadam, then you find that I am has no boundary at all. A human being has boundary, my doctor has a boundary, my king has a boundary, emperor has a boundary, however great I am still bound. I am is formless, boundless, Mahatpadam, and never drop off what you are not. Give up the identification from which all these ideas of limitedness arise. Avihi sannihitam guhacharam nama. Nama has no meaning, it's just a vakyan alankar, it's just an ornament. Mahatpadam atra etat samarpitam. Now another dimension of the Atma is being stated here. Atra etat samarpitam, where all this samarpitam, where all of this is fixed, which is a very like the navel of the entire universe. So like the whole wheel is all fixed with hub, so also the whole self is the very hub in which the whole universe is fixed. So what does that hub do? What does the axle do? The axle provides the very movement to the wheel. Axle supports the wheel. Therefore, axle provides the satta and sphurti. Satta means provides the very existence to the wheel. Sphurti, the very movement to the wheel. And so also you are like axle, which provides the satta and sphurti to the whole universe. Atra brahmani edatsam samirpitam rasanabhayo araha. Just as in the hub of a wheel, all the spokes are fixed also, you are like the hub of the wheel of the universe. The whole universe is fixed into you. You are the one that sustains the whole universe and that gives movement to the whole universe. So what? This doesn't excite us. We hear this, all right, so what? But it's a big deal, the Upanishad is giving us another dimension of ourselves. I am not this small little thing that I think I am. Yes, when I am identified with the body, I am a small little entity, but who am I by myself? You are the very hub or the very axle of the whole universe, in which just as upon the hub the wheel is fixed with the spokes, and so also the whole wheel of the universe is fixed upon Brahman, which is what you are. What does the universe consist of? Ejat, pranat, nimishacha. All that is breathes, all that winks, all that does not wink, all that ejat, all that moves, pranat, all that breathes, nimishat, all that winks. Meaning all the living beings, sentient and insentient, whatever there is, the universe consisting of all of this is in fact sustained in you. You are the one that provides the satta and the sphurti, the existence as well as the movement to the whole universe consisting of all these diverse creatures or diverse entities which are sentient and insentient. So the teacher says here, Etat janatha, O my disciples, may you know this. Etat janatha, sat asat varanyam param vijnanat yad varishtham prajanam. Sat asat. Sat here means the gross, asat means the subtle. The words sat and asat are interpreted depending on the context. Sat can mean the effect and asat means cause. Sat means gross, asat means subtle. Meaning the universe of the cause and effect, the gross and subtle, whatever it is nothing but the manifestation of this one. Sat, sat, asat, whatever it is murta, murtayoho. All of this is nothing but Brahman, meaning that nothing exists apart from Brahman. Brahman can be simplified as asti, bhati, priyam, and whatever it is enjoys existence, enjoys the manifestation of consciousness, everything is dear or attractive, and thus this universe of the wheel of the universe is sustained by asti, bhati, priyam, Satchit Ananda, which is Brahman or the Self. Varanyam, Varaniyam. So that which is the It translates, I'm looking at translation, the most desirable. So Varanyam, Varaniyam, most adorable in fact. Varanyam, Tatsavitur Varanyam, Bhargaha. So Varanyam, the most adorable. So that Varanyam, the self or Brahman is the most adorable. Tadevi sarvasya nityatvat prarthaniyam. Says Bhashyakara here that it is that which is object of prayer, meaning everybody prays to Brahman. Sadasad Varanyam Prarthaniyam. So everybody prays. So he is the one that is prayed for and prayed to. What we are praying for also is Brahman. The way we are praying to also is Brahman or Ishvara. Sarvasya nityatvat prarthaniyam. Meaning that every creature is searching knowingly or unknowingly, searching for nityam or searching for that which is permanent, which is trustworthy, which is so, and that is what Brahman is. Param vijnanad varishtham prajanam. So, prajanat vijnanat varishtham. So the knowledge that the creature, the living beings have from the worldly knowledge, varishtham, which is the greatest, and so param, be greater than the knowledge, that ordinary knowledge that we have, meaning it is a knowledge which is conscious, that's eliminating all this knowledge. And which is the knowledge which goes behind all the knowledge. Janata, the teacher says, O my disciples, may you know this as your own self. This Upanishad also is well known. There are other Upanishads also where Pranava Omkara is presented as means of meditation upon Brahman. If one is not able to directly know Brahman as a reality which is my own self, then that is what we call the bhakti or the bhavana. You meditate upon Brahman. So means a stage before the knowledge is called bhakti or the bhavana. That you have this attitude, you have this drashti or, that everything is Ishvara. The ideal is that you know that everything is Ishvara, but suppose that does not happen to you, then the stage before that is that may you have this attitude, what is Ishvara? What that would mean is not just the words, but if it is Ishvara, then what would I do? What is my relationship with Ishvara? That I am a devotee and he is the one that is worshipped. If the whole universe is Ishvara and then I have the attitude that is Ishvara, then it will become worshipful for me. In that sense, that is how the bhakti or the worship comes before the knowledge. If you have the heart of the intellect which enjoys the subtlety and focus, then you see this as Brahman. If you do not, then have an attitude that this is Brahman. This is called worship or upasana. And for that, we have what we call alambanam, or a prop, just as we have a vigraha here. The Puja Swami of Dakshinamurti. That becomes alambanam. If directly you cannot meditate upon Dakshinamurti, then use the alambanam and have a vigraha in front of you and different aspects of that Vigraha represent different aspects, of different limbs represent different aspects of Dakshinamurti, and that we can meditate. Now in the Vedic times this was not there. In Vedic times the most famous alambanam or the prop was Omkara. And therefore, may we meditate upon Omkara as Brahman. Those days Omkara was very famous because children grew in the Vedic culture with Om Tat Savitur Varanya. Omkara was always there. Every mantra begins with that. Yo Vedadu Swarah Prokta Vedante Cha Pratishtitah. That which is before every mantra, that is Omkara. Vedante, in Vedanta also, that Pratishtitah. So that which is the very basis of all the Vedanta also. So for the Vedic students, Omkara was most well known and most dear symbol. Omkara can be a pratika, which is like a symbol upon which you can meditate. Omkara also is a name, in fact, which means Brahman, but here Omkara is taken as a pratika upon which we meditate as it is Brahman. So here we are presented with what upasana or meditation, where Omkara or Pranava is presented as the alambanam, as the very prop for meditating, which helps you to ultimately know Brahman, because that meditation prepares your mind for the knowledge of Brahman. In fact, Omkara or Pranava is the most effective, Kathopanishad describes that as the most effective alambanam. Etad alambanam shreshtam, etad alambanam param. That alambanam, that support, that prop is the most exalted, it is the most superior. So several Upanishads present Pranava Omkara as the alambanam for meditation, just as a vigraha becomes alambanam for meditation upon that particular devata. In the Vedic times we didn't have any murti, etc. But Omkara, this was alambanam. Other sounds are also there, Bija mantras are there. Of them, Omkara was the most famous and most revered. So Omkara is presented. How do you use Omkara for meditation? So that's what the next mantra says here. Pranavo dhanusharo hyatma brahmatallakshyamuchyate apramattena vedhavyam sharavattanmayo bhavet. So here is the allegory of an archer. An archer is shooting a target with an arrow. So archer places a arrow upon the bow, directs that bow at the goal and shoots. So this is the process that is used here for shooting the goal, which is Brahman. Pranavaha dhanuhu. So you require a bow. What's a bow? Pranavaha. Omkara is the very bow. Saro hyatma. Atma here means antahkarana or ahankara is sharaha, is the very arrow. Place this arrow upon the bow. Place the arrow of the ahankara or jiva upon the bow of Omkara. What it means is that may you first of all meditate upon Omkara and identify with Omkara. That is the purpose of meditation or upasana, is to attain identification with the object of meditation. So purpose of meditation ultimately is to gain identification. In that case, you get the very attributes of what you are meditating upon. And then first of all, meditate upon Om, Om with devotion and with the idea that Omkara is Param Brahma or Paramatma, meaning that look upon Brahman as a very Paramatma, just as you have other names these days, you have Rama, Shiva, Krishna and so forth. And so now Omkara has now been expanded into many other names. Omkara may not be that familiar or that common these days, but these days with other names. And that is Rama. And so Tulsidasi in his Ramcharitmanasa, Ramayana, shows how Rama is same as Omkara. Akara, Ukara, Makara, here Akara is there, Akara is there, Makara is there, and so Agni, and then all these different tattvas are there. He shows how Rama is same as Omkara. Meaning that by repeating Rama, 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 you have the same result as repeating Omkara. The advantage is that Rama is very dear to you. Omkara is fine. But Rama is a God with having all these wonderful virtues and attributes. And so Rama brings in your mind, because you're much more close or familiar with Rama. Omkara is wonderful, but at the same time you have no association, does not bring up any emotion in you. When you meditate, it is desirable that emotion also is invoked. Meditation is just not just an intellectual process, but then it is done with devotion. And so that devotion is a bond which connects you with what you are meditating upon. Says Ramana Maharshi, Sarala Chintanam Viralatah Param Ajyadharaya Srotathasamam Sarala Chintanam Viralatah Param. Ajyadharaya, like the unbroken stream of ghee. Yoga Shastra gives the example of oil, unbroken stream of oil. Whereas Ramana Maharshi says unbroken stream of ghee. Why? Because with ghee is associated the devatas to whom it is offered, and so he uses ghee instead of oil. Ajyadharaya srotasa samam, or like a flow of water, unbroken flow of water which comes in fits and starts. Sarala Chintanam Viralatah Param. When that Chintanam becomes Saralam, becomes uninterrupted, is better than interrupted thinking. And so, meditation is presented as a means for preparing the mind for knowledge. The meditation gives the ekagrata or focus to the mind. And it is hoped that when you are meditating upon your Ishtadevata with devotion. The Ishtadevata also invokes the devotion in you, and therefore thinking or meditating upon Ishtadevata is done with devotion. That is the reason why it becomes easier for your mind to focus your mind. And that way we get the practice of focusing the mind. Meditation helps us in concentration of the mind. Karma Yoga is for purification of mind, and Dhyana Yoga is for the focus or concentration of mind. Each one can do the other also. Here is presented Omkara or Pranava as the means for focusing the mind upon Brahman. So just as we have Pratima, we have a symbol, similarly you may have a name, and here it is a mantra or the name called Pranava, which is like a stepping stone, which is like a pole vault, using which you can, cross a 6 feet barrier. You cannot jump from the ground to 5 feet or 6 feet. So use that pole, old pole, with the help of which you raise yourself, drop that pole, and cross. So similarly, a mantra such as Omkara or any other pratima or other means that we have is like that pole which you use for lifting yourself from the ground and then drop it. So whether it is Dakshinamurti, whether it is Lord Krishna, it is Lord Rama, Shiva or Pranava, because there is association with this, that invokes a feeling from you. It invokes the devotion from you. And that devotion enables the mind to be fixed or focused upon that. So it's not just mechanical repetition, which how it was in those days, by the way. We do not find much mention of bhakti or devotion in these Upanishads. Anyway, that's between myself and himself. But we are adding that point here. And this meditation performed with devotion. That is the reason why the acharyas give us different forms. They gave us different, because different incarnations were there, and then those incarnations had their, so their glories were there, greatness was sung in the Puranas, and so you have a complete background of those. Therefore, remembering Rama brings up a certain emotion, bhakti bhava in you, or Krishna, or Ishtadevata. So that also is required. So name that you use or mantra that you use should also hopefully invoke in you the devotion. And then it's an advantage than just using, what Swami would call meaningless word, I am Reem Klim. Then there's so many Bij mantras, like 16 Bij mantras are there in the olden days. These Bij mantras were given to people with a fee of $1,000 or something like that, And then you would dramatize the whole thing, that your husband comes in and says, I got today a mantra. What is that mantra? No, I can't share with you. It's a meaningless word. I paid $200. You paid $200 for meaningless word? Because these sounds have no meaning, in fact. Meaning is, even Om also is one of those Bija mantras only. We have loaded all the meanings, the Upanishad has loaded meaning upon Omkara. Om, I am Reem, Klim. Om is also one of those things, by the way, but then Upanishads have loaded the meaning on Omkara. And that's how Om has become very special for everybody. And therefore, there is a sanctity about Om, a reverence about Om, etc. And therefore, Omkara is used most commonly in the Upanishads as a means of meditation upon Param Brahma. Pranavodanuhu sarohyatma brahmatallakshamuchyate. So Pranavaha, Omkara is like the bow. Atma, the mind, is like the arrow. Brahmatal upasa nishitam sandhaita. And by this meditation, slowly and slowly, mind becomes purer and subtler, more and more focused. So, the earlier mantra not included, which says that this arrow must be also sharpened. If the arrow is blunt, then even if it hits the target, it will fall down. It must remain one with the target. Sharvattanmayo bhave. The arrow should become one with the target. And that is so when the arrow is well sharpened. And so, by this meditation, upasa nishidam sandhaita, upasa nishidam, by constantly meditating, repeating Omkara, your mind also becomes like a sharpened arrow. So Pranava Omkara is like the bow, Sarohya Atma, Atma, or mind, here is like Sharaha, like the arrow, which is very well sharpened, by meditation. Apramattena vedhavyam. Now you have the target of Omkara, meaning that you identify the Omkara is identified with Brahman, target is Brahman. So, mind, by repeating Omkara, becomes one with Omkara, and because of Bhavana of Brahman, so mind becomes imbued with the Bhavana or with the devotional idea of Brahman. In that sense, it is said that Brahmatal Laksham Uchyate, Brahman is said to be the very Laksham, or the target. These days you use other things, you say Ram, 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 Shiva, etc., because you have devotion for those Ishtadevatas. So with the devotion, then the mind becomes imbued with that, identified with that. And so what is Pranava is what is mind, and then when Pranava is Brahman, so mind also becomes Brahman. Sharavat tanmayo bhavet, like an arrow becomes, it sticks to the target. So also, may the mind become one with Brahman. Fortunately, mind is Brahman. The arrow, of course, becomes one with the target, is fine. In this case, mind is not separate from Brahman. And therefore, it is not that one thing has to become something else. The essential nature of mind is consciousness. Consciousness alone identified with a given thought or given name and form, as last night we said, one consciousness alone assumes various forms. With the aham vritti, it becomes very subject. With the name and form, becomes the object. Idam vritti, it becomes a knowledge. One consciousness alone, in fact, so shines or manifests in all these different forms. Therefore, our mind, ourself, is not different from Omkara. It is Omkara, not different from Brahman, it is Brahman. And therefore it is easy to meditate that I am Brahman. In that I am whatever other elements are there, which are the limited elements, recognizing that they arise from the association or identification with the body or the mind, I let go. Meaning that I do not give any importance to that anymore. This belongs to body. This belongs to mind. This is this. I am not that. So since the essential nature of Atma or even the mind happens to be Brahman, all that is necessary is to let go of what is the upadhi amsha in that. Therefore, pranavodanuhu sharohyatma brahmatal lakshamuchyate. Brahman is the target, and target is not something different. Here, the arrow and target are different, but in this case, the Brahman is a very essential nature. Therefore, apramattena vedhavyam, and so may you meditate upon the identity of the mind or jiva and Brahman. What is jiva? Brahman with his upadhi. And they were meditated, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. What about the I am man? That belongs to the body. But I am happy belongs to the mind. I am so and so belongs to this aspect of upadhi. So we keep dropping this identification and recognize that this I, asti, bhati, priyam is the essential nature of mind, unchanging nature. Everything else is incidental, coming and going. This is the essential nature of mind. And that I want to see myself as essentially what I am. There are many incidental factors such as body, etc., are associated, because of which I look upon myself as a limited being. But essentially, what I am is just I am. Asti, bhati, priyam. That is the unchanging or essential nature of mind. That is Brahman. Omkara, that is what Omkara is. That Omkara is Brahman, Asti, Bhati, Priyam. Thus Omkara in fact becomes the means of meditating on myself as Brahman. So I first identify with Omkara, Omkara identified with Brahman. So that's how I identify with Brahman. Sharavat tanmayo bhavet. Then you discover a total identification with Brahman. Just as arrow becomes one with the target, in this case, because you are Brahman, you don't have to become Brahman. There is a travel involved, maybe from one location to the other. There is no travel involved here. If it is, there is a travel from Adhyaropa to Adhishthanam or letting go. This Adhyaropa Apavada Prakriya, as Vedanta explains, already Adhyaropa superimposition is there, Apavada, letting go of what you are not. And so, letting go of what the other notions are arising from identification of body-mind, let go. Recognize that all you are is simple asti, existence you are, simple consciousness you are, that is Brahman. This requires vairagya. To let go the identification of the body or the mind, to create that distance and to be able to objective that yes, I am the witness of the body, I am the witness of the mind, and therefore I am separate from this, I am just a witness. And even the nature of witness also is just consciousness. That requires objectivity, that requires being objective with this body as much as I am with the other body. My relation with this body is not different from my relation with other bodies also. Just as I am not that body, so also I am not this one, because I am equally a witness of this. And so that witness, the consciousness, is the essential nature of mind, which is without any boundary, is boundless consciousness, therefore it is Brahman. Sharavat tanmayo bhavet, when you become one or identified with consciousness, with Brahman, that is your true nature. The next mantra describes the glory of Brahman or the Self. Yas sarvajñas sarvavita yasyaisha mahima bhuve divye brahmapure sheshaha Vyomnyatma pratisthitaha. Vyomanyatma or Vyomnyatma, both will be all right. Vyoman can be declined as Vyomani or Vyomni. So Vyomani Atma becomes Vyomanyatma. Declined as Vyomni, then it becomes Vyomnyatma. So both will be all right. Esha Atma, that. So Atma, that self. Yes, Sarvajna, who is omniscient. Sarvavit. So Sarvajna, Sarvam Janati iti Sarvajna, Sarvam Veti iti Sarvavit. Grammatically, Sarvajna and Sarvavit, the meanings are not different. So Sarvajna Janati. And so the Jna dhatu also means to know and Vid dhatu also means to know. So how do you distinguish the meaning? So says Sarvajna, Sarvan who knows everything in general and who knows everything in particular. For example, this pot. One knowledge about the pot is that it is clay. That's all the Vedantins are interested in. What is one thing in which everything becomes known? Know the clay, the upadana karanam, the material cause, and all the effects are as well known. Yeah, but Swamiji, what is the volume of this part? What's the weight of this part? Vedanta is insignificant, it's not important. What is important? This is clay. So that is called the Sarvagna general knowledge. But one who knows also what is the weight of the part, what is the volume of the part, every other aspect about the part. Who made the part, when was it made, what is the weight, what's the value. Every other aspect of the part, which the Vedantis do not consider important. But Ishvara, the creator, the pot maker, has to know everything. Therefore, Ishvara, who has created the universe, knows everything in general, Sarvagna, as well as everything in particular. Means he knows in and out of everything. He knows what's out there, he knows what is going on inside also. So when we are thinking, we think that we are alone. Nobody knows what I am thinking. Nobody knows what I am planning. Nobody knows what I am scheming. But then everything is known because all of that is illuminated by the consciousness, and therefore Sarvavit, Ishvara, who is consciousness, eliminates every knowledge, and therefore he knows in particular everything. Sarvagnya, he knows everything in general and he knows everything in particular. All we need to become Sarvagnya is know everything in general. Only Ishvara can be Sarvavit. A wise person also is called Sarvagnya, by the way. Wise person also is called omniscient. Wise person also is said to know everything. In which way? He knows everything in general, that this is Brahman. What is your weight? He would not know. What is your height? He would not know. That you are Brahman. That's the essential nature. And so, there is Sarvagnya. But Ishvara cannot afford to be just limited to that knowledge because he has to create, sustain, and he has to preserve and do everything. Therefore, he has Sarvavit, he has the knowledge of everything in general and everything in particular. Like a pot maker must know not only clay, but know everything about pot to make it. Yasyesha mahima bhuvi. And who has such glory in this world, bhuvi in this world, mahima, the glory, esha mahima, and one who has this glory in the world. What's the glory? So here, esha means this prasiddha. So what is evident for that? We use the pronoun this. Pronoun this is something that is evident. Prasiddha, well known. This is a well-known glory of this Brahman, which Upanishad doesn't describe, which Bhashyakara describes here. Koso Mahima. What's the glory of Bhagavan? What's the glory of Ishvara? So this Saguna Brahma, of which the glory is described, Yasya me java prasayo shasane vidrute tishtatha. In whose command remain the earth and the heaven in their particular positions. So earth is there. Heaven doesn't fall down. Earth doesn't fly up. Do you ever wonder? The earth is very obediently only circling the sun. And someday it may say, let me take some rest. All the time I am traveling and traveling and traveling. The sun may say, let me take also a day off, or let me sleep an hour longer. Nobody has that freedom. And therefore says Bhashyakara that this is the glory of Ishvara. Brahman with Upadhi is called Ishvara, with Maya. Yasya me java prasivyav shasane vidrute tishtataha. So, in whose rule the earth and the heaven are held in the respective position. Heaven doesn't fall down, earth doesn't fly up. So Swamiji, you are talking like a child, we know. all that. There's nobody holding this thing. So, it is the gravity, the centrifugal force and centripetal force that balances, and everything is in balance. Where is Ishvara here? So the sun is held in its position, earth is held in its position, heaven is held in, as somebody is holding them. So those days they did not know science, Swami, therefore they thought that God is doing this. But now we know that earth is what it is, and because of that centrifugal force and centripetal, and there is balance. So where is God here? Is God involved here? Is he holding? Is he turning around? Does he take the earth and rotate around the sun? Where is Ishvara? Bhashyakara did not know this perhaps. So he says, or Upanishads, Yasya me dhyava prasevyo shasane vidrute tishtata yasya shasane, in whose shasanam, in whose command, whose rule, dhyava prasevyo, the heaven and the earth are held in their respective positions. Because everything, tendency is in fact not to be controlled. Understand that nothing in the universe wants to be controlled. Everything wants freedom. Even a little child doesn't want to be controlled. You hold his hand and I want to walk independently. Everything loves freedom. Nothing wants to be controlled. And such mighty force or mighty element, the sun, is controlled. It doesn't seem to have freedom to rise even a minute later than appointed time. The sun performs appointed duty. The earth performs appointed duty. Like obedient servants, they do exactly what they are employed or appointed to do. We may fail now and then, fall sick, but nothing like that here. Yasya shasane. So therefore, in whose rule, in whose command, the example, the heaven and the earth are held in their respective positions. Surya chandramaso yasya shasane alada chakravat ajasram brahmata. You know, alada means the firebrand. So sometimes in the dark room, you have this one stick and glowing fire on both the ends, and somebody turns them around and looks like all circles, you know. At least you can imagine, you've not seen it. Yeah, but you can imagine how in a dark room somebody has a stick with the fire flame on both the ends. He turns it very beautifully so that it looks like there are two circles. At least you can imagine. So also somebody is holding sun one end, moon the other end. Both are the luminaries, and they are, and somebody is holding them and turning them. And so, Surya Chandramaso yasya shasane alada chakravat ajasram brahmadaha. Constantly they are revolving like a like alata, like the what do you call it? The firebrand, yes. And so, as God is just sitting there or whatever, and constantly turning, and so the sun and moon are constantly turning. They have no freedom. I'm tired now, come on, give me some rest. No way. So the sun and moon are performing their duties as though they are the obedient servant. This is how Bhashyakara is describing the glory of the Lord, that He is omnipotent. He is all-powerful. Sarvajna, He is all-knowing. Unless you know the sun and moon, then you cannot control them. To rule somebody or something, you must know. The knowledge of that entity is required to rule. Otherwise, they'll slowly, like our Mughal kings, sitting in Delhi, and they send their, what do you call them, the ministers or whatever, in remote places. Afterwards, they became king, independent. All these fellows also became, because this fellow could not rule them. For them to do what you want them, to be obedient, you must control them, you must be powerful. And so today's government is powerful, and therefore nobody can do anything that they want. Anyway, that's besides the point. But Ishvara is the most powerful ruler, and therefore all these forces also have no freedom. And so this is how Bhashyakara describes their glory. Yes, Sarvajna, Sarvit, Yasyesha Mahima Bhuvi, the one who is all-knowing in general, all-knowing in particular, whose glory is very evident in the universe. We'll continue our discussion. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashyakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namah. Om Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari